Hello singers, welcome to another voice blog. Today I want to talk about chest voice. So, this really is the foundation that we lay for our singing. We need to have a good understanding of chest voice really before often we can start ramping up the difficulty, moving up higher in our range, because if we can't master chest voice, the chances of us mastering head voice are relatively limited. Here's why. The margin for error with chest voice is often greater. You have a wider amount of you need less precision ultimately, less precision in order to create that nice, clear, clean chest voice and sing with it. So, if you're struggling with chest voice, you are going to struggle hugely with head voice. So, where we always start with a singer is chest voice. We start at the bottom and we build up. Often what I hear with intermediate singers, beginning singers, the struggle that they have, they'll put a song up or I'll hear them sing and I'll hear something along the lines of, I don't know, if they were doing a U2 song, I can't live with or without you. Something like that. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. However, if we want to create energy and create focus with our singing and really create something that's stable, we have to get familiar with chest voice. And when I hear that sound, I hear a singer that isn't quite familiar enough with what they're doing. So, here's the key. Closed chords, connection. We need to understand the difference between having closed chords and having open chords, or having partially closed chords and completely closed chords. Think of singing as a balance between air and muscle. If we have too much air coming through and not enough chord or muscle, then we have an airy sound that's often hard to control. Now, that's not to say that you can't use that sound stylistically. Once you master the connected sound, you can let off that connection. You can lean one way or the other more because you know where the center is. But if everything you sing has a lot of air and not much chord closure, then you're always going to be playing it safe. You're always going to be in that area where you're struggling to find control. You don't have any balance. The opposite of that would be too much muscle, too much chord closure, not enough airflow. And at that point, you would have somebody that sounded kind of like this, really tight, that kind of sound. So, we want something in the middle. We don't want consistent, and we don't want, we want, nice, closed chords, where the air is being used efficiently. So the difference would be, if I said the word mum, if I did that, mum, 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 closed chords, mum, 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 the chords come open slightly, you can hear more air, mum, 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 more air. That's not a closed sound. A good exercise to learn this chord closure is anything that helps consonant-wise, so g, g. You hear on the g, g, g. The chords have to close to make that sound. G, 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 g. Each one I'm resetting. G, 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 g. I'm resetting that chord closure. So really, when we talk about chest voice, what we're talking about is becoming familiar with chord closure, how it helps us, and how it relates to the airflow and the vocal in general. Another good exercise would be something like ah, ah, ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. If you're struggling with chord closure, to make that sound, ah, 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 to make that sound, you have to have the chords closed. There's no way to do it without them with them open. If they're open, it would be ah, ah, ah. There's no definition to the sound. Ah, ah, ah. You can hear each one. Ah, ah, ah. So, if you want to start getting familiar with chest voice, start working with some of these ideas. Start understanding what it feels like to close and seal up those chords. Mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. At the start of each exercise, I'm closing the chords and I'm starting from a position of closure. I'm trying to get familiar with the feeling of chord closure. And this ultimately is what happens when we have a good chest voice. We're familiar with that. We can sing, I can't live with or without you. It's not necessarily the greatest line in the world, but what I'm trying to demonstrate is when we have that chord closure and we put it to a vocal, all of a sudden we have a more professional sound, we have a sound with more substance, with more richness, and we have more options. Like I said, stylistically we can lean towards more air, we can lean towards a bit more squeeze just to give us that intensity at times, but we've got to find the middle first. The middle is closed chords, not too closed, sealed up, but not open and wishy-washy. Mum, 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 mum. There you go, they're closed. So I hope this has helped you if you're struggling with your chest voice and you are looking for some help, then these kinds of ideas are going to help you. Do comment, rate and subscribe, and thank you for listening. See you again, guys. Bye bye.